Hi guys, and welcome to This Lady Plays. Today on Planet Zoo, I want to take you through a quick path tutorial because the paths can be a little jankety. So this is going to be a mostly beginner tutorial, and we'll do some more advanced stuff later. So to start out with, we're going to click on paths, and just to lay a path, you click once and you got your path, and then you can just build it out. You have these curves you can do and connect it back on itself like that if you want. And you can just do any kind of creative combination here with these. To get a little more advanced, we can do angle snap. If we build out another path, now it is going to stick with a specific angle. Right now it's at 90 degrees. So any curve we do is going to be a 90-degree curve. And that's how you can do kind of these really cool circles here. If you wanted, you can lower the degree here. Let's go to 15. And it's going to stick to, oh, you can see, let's get closer. You can see it jumping to those 15 degrees. And it's going to stick with that, whatever you do. So it just depends kind of on how you want to do this. If you want the freedom to do it wherever you like, just remove that and then you're back to however you want. Smooth rotation. The length, you can move here, bigger, smaller, and boom. Kind of a neat little formation I'm starting here. If you wanted to change, if you want to use the keyboard keys to change the length, you do plus or minus. If you don't always want to come down here and manually change it. To change the width, same thing here. You can change the width of your path. You've got a really big path, which is better if you have a lot of guests in your zoo to have these thicker, wider paths here. So, and if you want to use the keyboard shortcut, it is the bracket key, I believe it's called. And so you do one bracket key to make it smaller, one to make it bigger, and there you have it. So anyways, now we're going to move on to the railings. For the longest time, I didn't know about this because I didn't really explore this other section for quite a while, but there's a lot of stuff on here you can do with paths. I'm just going to go through a couple of them real quick. So railings on ground path. This one's nice because when you have that turned on and you want to set a path, you can add these automatic railings. And if you have, these are great for if you have habitats, like if I put a habitat right in here, you have these railings, just kind of makes it look a little bit more natural for a zoo. You know, they always have railings. Each path, if you change to a different path here, is going to have its own specific railing look to it. That one looks nice. I like that. So this, if you like to put these railings on here, it'll determine what kind of a ground path you want to use with. There's just a very simple wood path. Now, if you want to do an elevated path, that's fairly easy. We're going to pick a path here. We click. And a couple ways to do this. You can hold down the left mouse key, pull up, and pull back down to do it that way. Or you can use the keyboard. If you hit the J key, will bring you down. The U key will bring you back up. Now there's this interesting new option, a fairly new option, elevated length here. you click on that, and right now it's at the normal 4 meters. If we lower this down to, say, 1 meter, and we're going to left click and pull down. And now we have a much shorter, more precise angle here. Or not angle, but we have a shorter path created than this typical 4 meters. So if you wanted to do 2 meters, this is what that looks like. And I like this new feature. I'm glad they added that. Now, if you want to start at an elevated point, you can hit Control. Excuse me, Shift. You can hit Shift and then pull up on the mouse, and that will give you a path that is pre-elevated for you. Now, if you want to have this little area meet the ground, you would first click and then hit the J button or pull down or up on the mouse and make your path. The other thing to note is when you make your path, you'll see these little supports here. If you don't want the supports there, there's an option to remove them. Path supports. So if you unclick that, now if I redo these paths here, I can remove them. Maybe not. Okay, yeah, so it was tricky. You want to start out with them removed. It's easier. So now if I make a new path, there are no supports. If I want to add them back in, just, recheck that, click, add them back in. And I do believe they're all the same no matter what path. They don't change like the railings. Oh no, that one does. So some of them will. It just depends. So along with the railings, you can do railings on your elevated path, which makes much more sense to have them on the elevated path. So railing on elevated, check. And now we have a railing on our elevated path. Now another really cool feature with paths, and it's one of my favorite, is this align to grid. Now you do this. Let's click once. Okay. Now you do align to grid when you want to make a very precise plaza, or if you want to make very precise pathways that follow a specific grid. So this is a small grid. If you wanted to make a larger grid, so we're gonna make the width here the largest width. We're gonna click align to grid, and now you have a much larger area to work with. Which I should have done this more in the middle. So that's a very precise plaza. You can also do that with elevated paths. If you make an elevated path, let's do one again. We'll just keep it real big. Shift to make it as high, low as you want. Click once, click align to grid, then click again, and now your grid is started. You've got a very nice plaza elevated plaza. Now, if you want this to come down to the ground, you're going to want to deselect the grid. Click once. And see here, we've got this path that's already here. It is automatically trying to connect there. And that's fine if that's what you want. That's totally fine. Now, say you've placed some staff buildings and you want to connect them with a path. You can go down to staff paths if you prefer to use these. These are paths that zoo guests will not use. So it keeps your paths to your facilities nice and clear. Oh, a little glitch there. Interesting. So as you can see, the path will automatically, the front of a building will automatically try to make this little path here. You click once and then you can join it with other paths. Click once, join, and then you can join these. And that's an easy way to connect these buildings. Now you can always, if you wanted to be a little more precise, you can always use the align to grid. And if you started out this way, not now, but if you started out this way, it will make a perfect square around these. And that is pretty much it for this path tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button. And if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.